A very good morning to all the students of class 12th political science and students. Welcome back to the online classes here. As you know, we were doing the third chapter of your book, that is part B, Politics in India Since Independence. And while doing that third chapter, I told you those two important additional topics which had been added to your syllabus for this particular session by your revised new syllabus, and those topics were National Development Council and Niti Aayog. On this I have made two videos for you, and completely I have explained you everything relevant to your course regarding those two important topics of the third chapter. But now if I talk about the third chapter, there were some important topics as relation to planning commission and 5-year plans. So they have been removed from your syllabus, but I want you to at least know the introductory part and some basic concepts regarding to planning commission and what were the 5-year plans and what were the concepts behind putting up such plans, and what at what period of time which type of plans were put up by the planning commission. So this is at least you should know the introductory part about each of this topic. So I have come here to explain you something about these topics. But before I move to the topic directly to planning commission, I want to remind you that before I started this particular B part of your syllabus, politics in Indian since independence, we had started with the first chapter, that was challenges of nation building. And in those challenges of nation building, we had discussed that immediately after independence, our country faced three major challenges. So these were the three major challenges. Of course, there was so much of unrest and disturbance because of partition also during our independence, just after independence. But there were the major three basic problems which were focused by our nationalist leaders, and and to solve them was the major aim of our freedom fighters. So the first one was about nation building or unity or integrity of our nation, and that issue we had already taken in our first chapter, in which we discussed about partition and integration of princely states, reorganization of states. All these was the part of nation building. When we came to the second chapter, then I told you that second chapter, and yes, that second chapter, its name is Era of One Party Dominance. That was the second chapter, and it was all about establishing democracy in our country immediately after independence. So we would have read about this particular issue in that second chapter. But as I told you, that second chapter has merged with chapter number 5 of your this book. So this topic relating to democracy, some topics, important topics of this we will be doing when we will do chapter number 5. But we started chapter number 3, and this chapter number 3 and the third challenge was relating to development. The third challenge immediately after independence was related to development of our country. So it is a very huge term. If we say it's a broad term, development, maybe economic, political, social, cultural developments, and we will study in detail what this development is in relation to this particular chapter, third chapter, that is planned politics of planned development. And due to this third challenge, development, after 1950 we established this planning commission in 1950. Okay, but before we established this planning commission, which were planning 5-year plans for our country, that in the next 5 years what will be our economic goals, how and which sector we have to focus economically to eradicate poverty, unemployment in our country. So the problem here was, if I tell you, resource and population. So after independence, as you know, our population and resource, there was imbalance between the population size and the resource. If see, this was the size of the resource, this was the size of the population. Okay, so this particular resource has to be shared among this size of the population, and this was a resource. So sharing of these many resources with a huge population, proper planning was required to allocate resources to each and every citizen of our country equally. For that we needed planning, and that is why this commission came into establishment, whose name is Planning Commission, under which we have taken 12 5-year plans till 2012. So this was the reason that there was, we can say, imbalance between the population size and the resource. So distribute the resource equally, there was a need to plan the things so that there can be establishment of equality, democracy, and which we have read about the challenges, nation building, democracy and development. This all dependent on resource and population ratio also. So I shall start and give you some information about planning commission and 5-year plans, which are not a part of your syllabus, but it will be very much important and very much relevant to the topics we have done in this chapter, that is National Development Council and Niti Aayog. If any question arises in your board exams or in your home exams also, you will be able to answer National Development Council and Niti Aayog with the help of introductory part of planning commission as well as 5-year plans. And we will also try and cover in this video about the green revolution, which is an important topic of this chapter. So we will do these 3 topics here. So the planning commission, I'm directly starting with the planning commission because I'm not taking the introduction of the chapter. I have explained you the introduction which is relevant to planning commission and 5-year plan. So this is the basic information and important information relating to planning commission, and the reason I told you why this planning commission was established, okay, immediately after the independence, because the third challenge was development. For this development there was a imbalance between the resource and the population ratio. For this there were proper planning was required. So the planning commission was not a sudden invention after the independence. If we say this was not a sudden invention, a section of the big industrialists got together in 1944, but this idea had already begun in 1944, where the big and the strong industrialists of our country, which was under British rule, still there was some big industrialists. They got together as a group and they drafted a joint proposal for setting up a planned economy. Okay, they had drafted a document for the planned economy in the country. It was called Bombay Plan. So this plan or draft which was made by these member of the group of industrialists, this was called the Bombay Plan, which was in 1944. So which wanted the state to take important initiative in industrial and other economic investment. So here they wanted our government or the nationalist leader that immediately after independence or before the independence to focus on the industrial and economic investment in our country for the better growth and profit for themselves. We can say they were looking for their own benefits also. So they wanted government or the freedom struggle fighters to focus on the industrial and the economic investments. Okay, thus from left to right, planning for development was the most obvious choice of the country after independence. Second point here is, after independence, the Planning Commission of India was set up in 1950. You have to remember the date when this commission was set up, established in 1950, and it is an extra constitutional body. And this I have already explained you when I was teaching you that National Development Council. In that I told you about this extra constitutional body, and along with the Prime Minister was the chairman of this planning commission, along with some other ministers and in charges who were the advisory in nature. They used to advise the Prime Minister regarding the things taken up in the planning commission. It helps to reduce the wastage of time and increase the per capita income. So let's see the early initiatives. The Planning Commission of India opted for 5-year plan. When this Planning Commission was established, they thought that we will move step by step, and the first step will be for every 5 years we will plan a strategy, and we will allocate the resources and economy, and we will focus the sectors on which we have to focus and work accordingly. So 5-year plans were brought up by this Planning Commission. The budget of the center and all state government is divided into 2 parts. If you talk about the budget, yearly budget, the center and the state, it is divided into 2 parts. One of the part of the budget is spent on the routine items, daily administration work, already administration development works. One part of budget is spent on them, but the other part is spent on the yearly basis, that okay, for the next 5 years these will be the areas where we will see the development and resources are allocated accordingly. and plan budget that is spent on 5-year basis as per the priorities fixed by the plan. So what are the priorities fixed by the plan? Okay, we'll focus on agriculture, we'll focus on industries, we'll focus on irrigation or the dams. So accordingly the resources or the budget are spent for the 5 years. A 5-year plan has the advantage of permitting the government to focus on the larger picture and make long-term intervention in the economy. The 5-year plan has the advantage of permitting the government to focus on the larger picture. Here the government is not confused at how they have to work their plans, in which sector they have to work and focus. Through this 5-year plan, it is very much clear cut that they have to work and they have to focus on this particular area or sector. So there is a proper allocation of resources for that particular sector. So after this, if we talk about the first 5-year plan that came after independence from 1951 to 56. In 1950 it was established. From 1951 to 56 a complete plan was made. Okay, for this particular 5 years, what areas will be targeted will be the target for the development. So in the first 5-year plan, if we see, they sought to get the country's economy out of the circle of poverty. So this was the major aim, we can say, or the objective of the first 5-year plan, that we have to bring our people out of this cycle of poverty. There was so much of poverty just after independence because of shortage of resources, we can say, or the exploitment which Britishers or the East India Company had done to our nation. After that we faced a lot of poverty issues, unemployment. So we had to come out of this cycle of poverty. Accordingly the first 5-year plan from 51 to 56 was brought out. Under that, Kakandan Nandanath Raj, he was popularly known as K.N. Raj, he played the significant role in India's planned development. So in the first 5-year plan, he played a very important role in drafting our first 5-year plan, which focused on majorly on agriculture. So we can say he drafted section of the first 5-year plan. Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, he presented this 5-year plan in the Parliament of India. So he presented, okay, this is a drafted 5-year plan and these are the things and the sectors we have aimed to target and bring our people out of the cycle of poverty. So this was brought out in Parliament finally by our Prime Minister. The plan addressed mainly the agrarian sector. Why the plan has addressed only agrarian sector? Because after independence, if you see in India, there were very less skilled laborers, and the most of the we can say people were unskilled laborers. That is, around maximum of the population was involved in the agricultural land or belong to the rural areas who knew about agriculture very well. So it was planned that okay, this is the strength of our people, so let's focus on the first 5-year plan where we will be giving priorities to agriculture and to improve this sector. So that is why this sector address mainly the agrarian sector, including the investment in dams. And if we have to improve the production in the agriculture, we need to have the good irrigation facilities for them. These developmental works to construct the dams and irrigation facilities were provided, and budgets and the money was invested on preparing of dams and irrigation facilities. Agricultural sector was hit hardest by the partition. So after the partition, we can say there was a lot of loss to the agriculture sector by this partition, and required urgent attention. So this required urgent attention and it got in the very first 5-year plan. The plan identified the pattern of land distribution in the country as a principal obstacle. But when we were planning for the first 5-year plan, the first obstacle in the way of the first 5-year plan was there was a zamindari system. If you read about in history about the zamindari system in modern history especially, then you will see that a lot of land was under a one person control of one person. That person was called, suppose this was the land holding and zamindar. So this was the problem coming up here, that there was a huge plots and land, and this all was under a zamindar. He used to give on rents to the tenants who used to work in these farms and lands for the zamindar, and maximum of the share of the profit was taken by the zamindar. Only some part was given to the peasants or the tenants. So this was the problem coming up when we were thinking about the agricultural sector. So it was very important to make land reforms and change this system. So this point you can understand now. The plan identify the pattern of land distribution in the country as a principal obstacle in the way of agriculture growth. It focused on the land reform as a key to country's development. So if we wanted our country to develop and bring our people out of the cycle of poverty, it was very important to reform the lands. Okay, and whatever these zamindars were, we can say, very financially, economically, they were very strong before the independence also and after the independence also. So it was very important to reform the lands and distribute among the people who needed them much. So moving on to the second plan now. I'm taking the introductory part, so it will be clear to you that were the planning commission, what were the first 5 year plan, that which was the second 5 year plan, what were the areas of target taken in the different plans. So talking of the second, the first 5 year plan was this one, and if I talk about the second 5 year plan, it's here, rapid industrialization, because here the target and the area of functioning was on the industries. The second 5 year plan date was from 56 to 61, drafted by a team of economists and planners under the leadership of PC Mahalanobis. Mahalanobis. So this plan is also known by his name. Okay, and this was drafted and planned by various economists and planners. It emphasized on heavy industrialization even in rural areas, being criticized for creation of prosperity in rural and industrial sections, because most of the people thought here that most of the importance was given to only urban areas where they thought that there could be industrial work done, but in this plan they thought that the heavy industry should also come up in the rural areas. So it was argued also on the ground to be failure, not that the policy, but of its non-implementation of politics of land owning classes. So they are saying these plans have been perfect, they are the masterpiece if you talk about the first 5 year plan, second 5 year plan, but their implementation was not up to the mark. As I told you, in the case of zamindars, they were financially strong, they had political connections, so they were manipulating people and the government, and it was not easy to eradicate their power. So that is why these plans could not turn out very good as they could have been. That's why it's written here. It was argued that on the ground to be failure, not that policies were very good, but they were not implemented properly because of the landowning classes. They were the classes which were very strong and powerful, and those influenced the political system of our country even after independence for some period of time. If you talk about the third 5 year plan, it was one and the same, like the same second 5 year plan, which focused on the growth, fast growth of the industrialization. Okay, now the next important topic of this particular chapter was the green revolution. So it was brought out in 1966, this is a date, it was started here. The government adopted a new strategy for agriculture in order to ensure food sufficiency. Now government, agriculture was given importance in the first 5 year plan, but again in 1966 this green revolution came into effect, and under this the government ensured that we need to have food sufficiency. They have focused on this because there was a lot of shortage of food now, so it was focused that we should have food sufficiency, we should not import food from other countries. So for that, what was the plan of the government? Instead of earlier policy of giving more support to the areas and farmer that was lagging behind, before in the first 5 year plan also we were helping areas, all the areas in our country and the people or the farmers which were lagging behind. These areas were lagging behind, they were very poor, they did not had any capital, any facilities, any irrigation facilities, neither they had any money to invest or for the good production of their crops. So now what the government thought, that instead of investing money of these on these farmers who are lagging behind, it would be good and productive to invest this amount of money on it's certain now it would decide to put more resource, to invest more resources into those areas and into those places or states where already had irrigation and these farmers who had were already well off. So they had good irrigation facilities, they had good machinery, they were good, really well off. They were not too poor. They could manage the good investment for the good production. So here government focused on such areas in our country where there were good irrigations and farmers were already well off. They could have good production with their own investment as well. But government offered them high yielding variety seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, and better irrigation highly on subsidized prices by the government. Subsidy was given to the farmers for irrigation, because for irrigation there is a lot of usage of electricity. So government also gave a guarantee to, and after that government also gave guarantee to the farmers of these well-off areas that once you produce these crops, we will buy these crops from you, and the prices were already decided in advance. Okay, at this particular price per kg we will buy all your grains. This was the beginning of the green revolution. So this was a process which we call as green revolution, because here the government thought once these areas with good facilities they start growing, automatically the impact of good and good food sufficiency and good agriculture will go to the areas which were lagging behind. So all this was just a short introduction part for you, and this is not a part of your syllabus as according to the new CBSE revised document which we have got, and I have also forwarded you in the group that PDF. But still I wanted you to know basic things about this, so that you can use these while you are constructing answers for the National Development Council or Niti Aayog. Okay, so with this I come to the end of this particular topic. In the next video we shall start and the next chapter of your syllabus. Thank you.